Well, hedge funds and private equity are sizing up Burma for investment opportunities. Leopard Capital is one of those firms investigating different strategies to benefit from the country's recent opening up. Skeptics say, though, well, it's mostly hype. We've got Douglas Clayton, CEO and founder of Leopard Capital, joining us from Cambodia. Good morning, Douglas.
Good morning.
So you just recently led a team of investors to Burma. Are you seeing some reasonable opportunities there?
This is very exciting. I'm not one of the believers that Burma's hype. I think there's genuine opportunities there. We met 25 local companies, and these companies are quite interesting that they've been existing without competition from multinationals due to sanctions. So they've had a chance to develop without, in other countries they wouldn't have been able to compete with multinationals. But now they're in the position where they've got to modernize, and they're looking up with foreign investors to study the competition ahead.
Obviously, for funds, it's a much more difficult proposition given that there's no stock market. I understand that the central bank and Daiwa are working on putting together a securities exchange for a few years down the road. But are funds willing to go in and take big positions in companies?
Yes, the preferred exit is not necessarily through an IPO anyway in the type of the market. That the chance to build up companies and sell your stake to their foreign investors, to multinationals who want to enter the market, to local investors. The trade sale is often preferred exit anyway.
Presumably, Burma needs a lot of infrastructure, and infrastructure is usually pretty good investment with fairly high returns, isn't it?
Yeah, so infrastructure is a slightly different game than what we're looking at. It requires more capital and longer-term horizons. But certainly some of the things, telecoms or internet services, are obvious opportunities. I think a lot of strategic investors will go in there and grab one of the last unpenetrated markets.
You're talking about raising something like $100 million fund?
Yes, we're looking at a $100 million private equity fund and a $50 million real estate fund. The private equity fund will be looking to provide growth capital to existing Burmese businesses that are ready to expand. The real estate fund will be focusing more on developing some of the needs, especially foreign investors coming in will find it very difficult to get hotel rooms, offices, condominiums, or houses. So we'll look to help develop some of those needs.
Are you concerned about rule of law there?
Well, there's perhaps a problem all across Asia in different levels. But I think the real story with Burma is that everything's in change, and the government seems very committed to modernizing the country, and they seem to understand that it's going to require political, legal process of liberalization. So I think the Burma of tomorrow is going to be very different than that of the past, and we have to look forward.
Were you well received when you were there?
Yes, I found the people very friendly. And of course, I've been visiting the country over the last 23 years. But I think now there's a different optimism than I've ever sensed before. I think locals really believe that this is a permanent change, and it's time for them to move ahead and to catch up to the rest of the world. And
the corporate culture, does it exist?
It's developing. It's at an early stage. At the moment, there's a lot of family business, and we see that across Asia. That's a normal early stage business structure. As I said, there's not many multinationals. Yeah. There's also a layer of sort of crony capitalists at the top, which I think will become less relatively important in the future as the economy opens.
Okay, Douglas, thank you very much for coming on the program. Douglas Clayton there, CEO and founder of Leopard Capital. So Douglas Clayton to Rangoon, or you go on in about 10 years?